Alright, so here we go. A new patch just went live for Diablo 4, fixing some controversial issues with the game and also addressing some key exploits. Yes, some of you might actually be bummed that you can't do this anymore, so we'll talk about it. Also, we're taking an in-depth look at the new Uber Unique introduced with Season 1 that less than 1% of the player base have gotten their hands on now. This weapon, in my opinion, is really cool and we need more like this. Plus, let's take a look at the Malignant Tunnel tier list as well, and a huge warning, there's a new bug in the game right now that's actually extremely costly and you might be caught up in it without you even realizing it. So yeah, we're going to highlight that as well, but let's get into the official stuff. So Adam Fletcher says this patch 110C with some small updates was pushed out to all platforms. Patch notes page has been updated. Let's check it out and dive into those patch notes, shall we? Because there's actually some pretty important stuff going on here, so let's get into it. Check it out here. It says 1.1 build 43556 says fix an issue where several focus offhand items could only have an aspect imprinted on them once. They also address an issue where combining the Dark Dance and Punishing Speed Malignant powers could cause the player to stun themselves. Wow, okay. And fix an issue where the Grim Reward Season Journey objective could be repeated by dropping and picking up the same stash. I'm sure some people are bummed that has been fixed. They also fixed an issue where the werebear and werewolf fur color was too bright in certain situations. I'm wondering if that means no more Cheeto werebear. Maybe some people might actually be bummed about that. I don't know. Also, we have fixed an issue where movement on specific controllers was often not functioning correctly. Updated the activation of the premium battle pass with a confirmation pop-up. I don't know why this wasn't in the game in the first place. They could have avoided a lot of controversy, but yeah, I feel like Blizzard knew exactly what they were doing with that one. Now, also following up on that, says the default focus, the button the controller will first highlight on the Battle Pass screen is now the Season Journey button. So yeah, we can have a sigh of relief, and that better also continue into Season 2 as well. There'll be no issues. Now it says acquiring or reallocating seasonal blessings will now clear the vendor buyback inventory. They also fixed multiple instances where players were encountering crashes and further stability improvements. More on that in a moment, by the way, because people are scratching their head like, what does that even mean? And then we have fix an issue or fix an interaction with the Agitated Wind's Malignant Heart power, which led to automatic Cyclone Armor cast to ignore its own cooldown, and then they accidentally repeated something in the patch notes here. But yeah, we have a follow-up question here out on Twitter. Check it out from Hazy, who says, further stability improvements. Does this help with the stuttering? I have to restart my game every 30 minutes or so. I want to say it's a memory leak, but I don't know what would be causing it. It only happens in Diablo 4. I am so curious, by the way, is he playing as Necromancer? Because I have noticed once again that the stuttering issues are primarily when I'm playing Necromancer. So yeah, this is something that I really hope that they tackle. But yeah, to follow up about the memory leak thing, check this out right here from icyveins.com. They have everything we know about patch 1.1. And I gotta highlight this right here. A fix for the memory leak is coming up in this update. Now, of course, we don't have an actual release date for this. We do have that release date window, which is going to be ahead of midpoint for Season 1. Now, we also have this one right here. You got to remember, Friday is going to be a big stream where they're going to be talking about the upcoming 1.1 patch, including the Sorcerer Barbarian changes, bug fixes, and features. I will have a recap for you all on that day, so don't worry about that. Now, we also have Brad Davis, who says, the Barbarian feels absolutely terrible to play. Had maxed out level 100 on Eternal, 66 now in Season 1, nerfed after beta, nerfed after early access, main stat crit vulnerable nerfs on weapons, hit barbs harder than any other class, but nerfed hamstring too, unenjoyable. And then we have Joseph Porter, who says, we'll be talking about some buffs for the Barb on Friday's live stream. So yeah, they're going to go in depth with us about what they're going to be doing for the Barbarian because he needs some help big time. Yeah, right now I'm playing Necromancer, as you can see, and jumping back between Necromancer and Rogue, and I've been having a ton of fun with that in Season 1, I have to say. Necromancer got some major treatment, major love here in Season 1, and he's just a blast to play as. Highly recommend. Next up, we got to talk about the uber unique that was added with Season 1, the Ahavarion Spear of Lycander. First look at the new Diablo 4 uber unique. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? So this one comes from Wowhead. It says patch 1.1, Diablo 4's most recent content update, included the release of the new uber unique staff. We take a first look at the Spear of Lycander, its powerful potential, and its place in the lore of Diablo. As of all the other uber uniques in Diablo 4, Barbarian Spear of Lycander is extremely powerful and very hard to find. Besides the strong base effects, its passive unique effect defines its incredible potential of this item. Take a look at this. So you gain a random shrine effect for 10 or 20 seconds after killing an elite enemy, can only occur once every 30 seconds. Now, that may seem minor to some people, but we got to get into, of course, the shrine effects, because it goes on to say this right here. Check it out. It says, when killing an elite enemy while wielding the Spear of Lycander, players will get one of 7 possible Diablo 4 shrine effects. It's safe to say that while the Greed Shrine may be the only low roll in this scenario, all other 6 shrine effects more or less trivialize current in-game content. Check out all Diablo 4 shrine effects. Okay, let's take a look. We have Artillery Shrine. Of course, you guys know about that one. Blast Wave Shrine, Channeling Shrine, Conduit Shrine, Greed Shrine, Lethal Shrine, Protection Shrine. This weapon is so freaking cool, in my opinion. I would love to be able to have this drop before my feet in the game. But honestly, I would love to see more weapon effects, more visual, stylistic stuff going on with weapons. Now, I'm not saying that I want to see tons of weapons like this in particular, because then it makes it less rare, less important, less significant. That in itself would become an issue. But yeah, it'd be nice to have some ancestrals that really, really popped. You know what I mean? Right now, everything is based around percentage increases from what I have seen, at least for the most part. But, you know, when they have introduced some of these malignant hearts, especially for the necromancer, that allow you to walk by a corpse and it triggers some of your corpse abilities automatically, that sort of thing that I love. So, yeah, I hope they keep adding in these really cool weapons that change up the gameplay mechanics, but also give that visual flair on top of it. I think that'd be great. Now, we got to talk about this one right here. Check it out. It says, Malignant Tunnels Season 1 tier list for Diablo 4. Best tunnels to run for Malignant Heart farming. This one comes from Wowhead once again. So let's go ahead and go over this and get straight into the actual list, which of course is separated by S tier and goes all the way down to D tier, S being the best. So let's take a look-see, shall we? So the best Malignant Tunnel for Season 1, according to them, is of course Bedeviled Grotto. And then we have A, which is going to be Fissure of Malice, and the B tier is going to be Dendai Hollow, and then finally C tier is Ravening Pit, and of course at D tier you have the Boiling Wound, Den of Blighted, which apparently are going to be the ones that you want to avoid. Now, they did some explaining as to what to expect from S tier tunnel. It says these dungeons are the cream of the crop, great layout, easy or non-existent objectives, and mob density that will keep the experience flowing at a huge rate. The faster you can get them done, the faster you will actually level. Some of them can be completed in less than 2 minutes for an experienced player. So yes, get after it, and hopefully that helps you guys farm very quickly and also level up very quickly as well. We also got to talk about a new issue that has arisen recently in the game, thanks to the introduction of Season 1. Yes, more issues, more problems. So check it out. You guys have to be aware of this one. It says this one right here. Season Blessings to earn more gold increases occult enchanting cost. Now it says, was watching that mods who tested it live on stream. He had an amulet at 7.8 million reroll cost. Spec'd into the node and it went to 8 million something. Raise awareness. Tell the 2 remaining friends who are playing to unspec the node now. Now he says, is this like the hackathon fodder or something? Return. And it says update. Man is still testing it. Doesn't affect rare rerolls, just legendary. So I guess unspec the node when you want to gamble on your existing items. And the reply here says, I think this is an easy fix. Giving the sorcerer a bit less cooldown reduction should do it. The sarcasm is heavy on that one. All right, so check it out right here. We got to talk about it. It says, I have played 25 hours of Season 1 and have yet to encounter a single world boss despite always checking map. But you got to remember, there is an actual requirement to this. They want me to kill each one 5 times. It's a problem to include it in the season journey as an objective. So they really need to basically fix this. But we do have this right here. It says they're on a fixed schedule. Next one is in 12 minutes. Yes, you need to follow external resources or use an app like, of course, this one at playgoogle.com. Yes, the rotation being on a 6-hour schedule means they'll always be in the same ballpark every day, and you might not be available. Yes, this sucks. No, it should not be like this, and timer schedules should be visible in-game, or even better, the world bosses should always be available for your party to fight. And again, there was a reply that I highlighted yesterday where they said that they are interested in adding more prominent notifications right on screen outside of the map that let you know that a world boss is present, or at least going to be counting down to a world boss. They desperately need that. In fact, it needs to be a sound or ping noise that's very identifiable that catches your attention. All right, now I finally really want to see this so badly in the game, and I really think right now is the time to discuss it because, of course, we have that new live stream coming up. But check it out. It says, please just let us have the map overlay. It's time to admit failure here. Navigation in the overworld is not good. Whoever designed the pin system did so in a vacuum. Even if you ignore entirely the fact that the pin system is buggy, it is a sloppy approach to good navigation. I'm still running around, ignoring content with my eyes glued to the top right of the screen. This is a huge problem. This is a big problem in my opinion, because I'm finding myself just looking at the top corner of the map all the time outside of combat. When traversing, that's my main focus. And yes, we need some sort of map overlay. And again, I really hope that they apply 2 different functions. A map overlay for us, and also give us the option that we have in other Diablo games, like the footpath that you see in Diablo Immortal. I know you guys hate when I mention Diablo Immortal, but it does actually have some features that are actually better than what we're getting here in Diablo 4. It's a really cool feature. It's right there on the screen, and you're able to look and enjoy the world that they have crafted. Please add the footpath feature that you have in your free-to-play, pay-to-win title, Diablo Immortal. I mean, I paid $100 for this game, so why don't we have that as an option? All right, so yeah, now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It could end up in a future video. Let's do this. So yes, my most recent video was, of course, this one right here. It says it's confirmed new season 2 updates, big cosmetic news, and dungeon enhancements. Now, if you missed it, check it out. So let's get into what you guys had to say. So we have generic name 007. It says, I like the open world, I just hate they don't let you use it. All the progression forces you into dungeons, even the new season stuff. They have this big open world, perfect for having malignant events of towns being overrun, etc., but they don't use it for anything. I love to be able to get experience for my glyphs from open world activities, so I don't have to run the same dungeons with the boring or annoying modifiers 1,000 times. Again, they've got to expand the events like strongholds and other elements of the actual open world. I totally agree with you 100%. And it's weird because they're developing things that further detach you away from the beautiful open world that they have created. For instance, now they are having a teleport feature where you can go practically straight into Nightmare Dungeons. While I do love this as an option, it just goes to show how, they're willing to say, just ignore what we've created with the open world. So hopefully they can develop some sort of seasonal content or, permanent in-game content that encourages you to really embrace the open world. Hell Ties is a great example of really enjoying the open world. But yeah, we need more. I love how you guys keep mentioning how you want some sort of events in towns. I think that is such a great idea because I love exploring towns, and I feel like there needs to be more instances of combat within towns. That'd be cool. Now we have Cal PT who says this right here. For example, see Grim Dawn, implement resistances, make them count, then remove CC, crowd control. If you go into a dungeon where there's a lot of cold damage and you don't have that resistance max, you're going to suffer, including getting frozen more often. If you're going into a dungeon where there's a lot of fire damage, you'll become burning more often, etc. In other words, make resistances count as a way to counter CC. You know what game I think of that does this, or franchise? Souls franchise, Elden Ring. you know, it always encourages you to approach certain situations from building up resistances. So, for example, if you go into that poison swamp, oh man, I can't survive here for much longer, but I will be returning when I have built up my poison resistance and I am stronger. There's also something more rewarding about that as well, being able to pull that off and finally say, I can face off against these swamp poisonous creatures and maybe even face off against this poison boss finally. I personally love that sort of thing, but crowd control is just the worst. So 100% agree with you on that one. But yeah, there it is. The latest happenings around Diablo 4. Stay tuned for more news and updates. I have you guys covered. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take care.